in segment 1. We removed the airbox in segment 2. And now we're moving on to remove the exhaust system complete. The reason we're doing this is we have a customer that's bought a custom exhaust for his twin turbo. And we want to get that on there for him because it's going to sound awesome. So the tools we're going to need for this job are a little bit unusual. There's several ways. A lot of people drop the engine. We don't want to do that. We like the engine just where it is. 16 millimeter swivel-headed wrench. This is one of the long ones. It does help and make it easier if you have it. Same on a 15 millimeter swivel head. That 90-degree swivel is very important. We have a straight ratcheting 13 millimeter and a straight ratcheting 10 millimeter. We have a 1-foot extension with a 13 millimeter swivel impact socket. We have a 13 millimeter curved ratcheting wrench. These will help with the exhaust flange bolts. We also have a 16 millimeter on a 3-inch extension with a 3/8 drive impact. We will use the screwdriver again. It's our loyal companion to release some of the clips for the oxygen sensor. Thank you. I'm going to continue this little process of removing the muffler. First step is to disconnect the oxygen sensors. These cars are equipped with 4, 2 on each side on each catalytic converter. Shannon's going to disconnect. I'm going to put a little light on it, and little Miss Sue is going to shoot photos. Here we go, the video. This is on the driver's side. Simply pull and disconnect. The secondary sensor is a little bit trickier. If you're watching Shannon, he's showing you exactly how to do it. You have to remove it from the holder. Then you have to remove the clip, retain it, just like the other little clip on the mass airflow wiring harness. Then these need to be fed down below. When we go down below by the muffler, we'll pull them down to make sure they're not caught or tangled on anything. That was the driver's side. Now we're switching to the passenger side. There's a good shot of them. Tricky. Once you get those two, you have to disconnect the little clip retaining the harness, and we're going to put them where we can get to them from underneath. And we'll talk to you in a minute while we're underneath. We're going to remove some heat shields on this muffler before we raise it. We only have 2 bolts. It's an easy step. Taking a 16 millimeter swivel on a 3/8 impact. The inside, simply slide the bolts out. And slide this off. There we go. We're going to move it out of the way. Now we're going to raise the car up. Be right back. Raise the car in the air. As you can see, we have our O2 sensor wire, our harnesses hanging down. One thing that you will notice in the earlier video of this is that we did mark one connector per side so that they don't get confused. That is a very small step that is very important. Keeps things simpler. You don't have to think about it. It's just plug and play. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove these 4 flange bolts. We get a little light right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're on both sides of the car. There's also a side one you have to remove, 10 millimeter, right there, to get that shield out of the way. And we're going to start into those and get those out, and we'll come back and show you what the next step is. Just concentrate on Shannon. I'll pull this side. flange bolts. Sue's going to give you a shot of those so you can see. All 4 of those are removed, and you actually remove the little 6mm that attaches to the shield on the side so you can kind of kick it back out of the way so it's loose. Both sides look very similar. They just look reversed for obvious reasons. So now we got to move on to the next step. The next step being, we have 2 lower bolts on the underside of the muffler bracket, engine support bracket that we're going to remove. And then we will let the vehicle down a little bit. So here we go with each of those. Alrighty. We're going to let the vehicle down and get the other 2 bolts. We'll be right back with you. Very, very carefully lowered it onto a stand to support the engine because we're going to be loosening this rear bracket for the engine support. These 2 bolts that we took out, and we're going to do others. Right now, Shannon is going to remove these shield nuts. I'm going to remove these clamps. What this does is it drops things down enough to where you can take the 16mm flex head ratchet wrench and you can put it up here in place on the 2 top bolts. And loosen them, because they will have to come all the way out. And it takes a little bit of time, so we'll get back with you when we have the bolts out. The muffler will come off as an assembly just like this, and you can set it inside. Be very gentle with the connectors and with the O2 sensors, as you don't want to damage them or confuse them by pulling them off. You want to put them back in exactly the same spot. Thank you.